first things first, I need to get outside and forage for some materials, so I'm going to use my daily hour of exercise and visit my local woods to see what I can find. Seed heads in hedgerows are perfect for this, so make sure you bring some secateurs and a bag to put everything in. Chop a few of these and take these back with me. I have just come across this mound of sort of grass and twig cuttings, and so this will be perfect. I'm just going to grab a few handfuls of this and take it back with me. The best thing you can spot is pine trees for their pine cones, because insects absolutely love to get inside all these nooks and crannies. The weather has turned absolutely glorious for me to make my bug hotel. I say bug hotel, but it may be a bit of a mansion at this rate. It's going to have a living roof, it's going to have a hedgehog house down the bottom, and then in between that it's going to be filled with lots of lovely things that the insects and bugs are going to want to crawl in. So this is what we've got today. We have a lot of materials on this job, but every single one of them is salvaged. So we've got plants for the living roof, we've got some calendula, we've got some bunny tails grass, we've got some chives, so some herbs. They're going to flower and the bees are going to love them, and then we've also got some cornflowers, plus I will be sowing some butterfly seeds. So they're going to be all different plants that are going to be beneficial for the butterflies. So we've got loads of tools here, but as I said, all the materials are reclaimed, so this is where you need to get creative. You can use anything that you like, any size wood that you want. You just need to adjust the dimensions to what wood you've got, and also the screws. So I have done some prep work here. I feel like it's a bit like Blue Peter, so I'll show you how to do this later with the chop saw. So much easier than doing it with secateurs. We've got a jigsaw, we've got the basic tools like tape measure, we've got some scissors, we've got a sander, and we've got the drills, and these are the screws that I'm going to be using for most of it, as well as all different size drill bits. So these are going to be for our bees. So you're going to need some different sizes. You're going to need some lovely soil. Around here we've got some black polythene. That is going to be for the living roof. We've got a pile of wood, some logs. These I shall show you how to make in a moment. So these are actually taken from sort of the middle of the pallets. So when you break them down, you ended up left with these. So I've drilled lots of holes in these already, but I've got one left to show you how to do that. I was going to use these pallets, but when I took down my greenhouse, I moved this bird box, and the birds have decided that they want to live in there now and nest. So that's absolutely fine. They can have that. I'm not going to move that at all. And yeah, there is my area that I'm going to have the bug hotel. So I've just cut back the plastic membrane here because you want bare soil, and then I've levelled it. You want to make sure it's as level as possible, and then that's going to make your whole area secure. And this is my wildlife area that is coming along. So last year I put in that pond, and then in summer all of this will be covered in flowers that are beneficial to wildlife. I really do believe it is important to garden with nature rather than against it. So if you want to work with nature, you can install your own bee hotel, your own bug hotel, anything that you like to try and encourage the wildlife into your garden and create a nice balanced ecosystem. You want to position your bug hotel facing southwest, and also it's good if you can get it in the shade. Dappled shade's fine, so by the afternoon this shade will have gone. This is a great project to do with children. You can take them out on their daily walk, find things in the hedgerows, find things in your garden, and salvage whatever you can. So I'm going to show you how to do the hedgehog hotel first. So it's really, really simple. We're going to make an outline. Come on, mind out the way, Olive. She said this is going to be better than her house. So we're just going to have a little entrance there. So that is your overall shape. So you've got an entrance here, and then you've got the whole area here where the hedgehogs stay in. Next you want to build up the layers, and you want to try and cross over the bricks, which will strengthen it. This time I'm going to put a brick across the entrance there. So I'm going to have another brick there, another brick there, and I shall just grab a few more. And there it is. So that is the base of your bug hotel. So it's 3 courses up, and then the front one has just been, so then you can have a little hedgehog crawl in there. You don't want it any bigger because you don't want anything else getting in there. And then this, I'm going to put some leaves in now. So these are really dry ones. Just going to chuck in there, and that will make a nice little habitat for some hedgehogs in the winter. And it's a great time of year to do this because it means it's going to stand here all summer long, and then the insects and the hedgehogs will get used to this area before they need to hibernate in winter. I have got a stack of paving slabs behind me that I'm using for something else, so I'm going to steal one of these. This is a 600 by 600 paving slab. It's 47 kilos this one, so it's really heavy, so that's why I didn't film myself popping it down. But this is going to create a perfect roof on top, and this will be the base to then put all the other wildlife bits on top. Just try and get it as central as you can. Could do with going a bit more this way. Make sure your bricks are still in place. And there we go, we've got our base. This wood I have deconstructed from my shed, so I am using again my favourite tool at the moment, which is the miter saw. I'm going to make the frame a metre tall. That's going to give us plenty of room. So I've squared up this corner, I'm going to turn it round now, and I'm going to get 4 of these cuts. So you want some quite chunky wood for this, so if you can get hold of that at the moment, try your best. I have cut my 4 pieces of wood, and I've just balanced them up against the outside, so now I can take some measurements of the posts that are going to go in between. So we need something to obviously join these up. So that's the size of the paving slab plus the thickness of whatever wood you are using. So mine is 685, and then I'm also going to take a dimension from here of how far up I want this wood to come up to. So we probably want it around the sort of 22, 220 mark. I've cleared off the bench, which is really easy with that light miter saw. So I brought these 2 posts over, and this is the one that I've cut down that's going to go across like that. So I need to measure first 220. That's how high I want these to come. Pilot drill, and I'm just going to put a couple of holes in each end. That's that done, and then I'm just going to position these so it all lines up. I have made the 2 frames, and now I'm going to grab my level and level it all. It's really important that you have yours level, because we've then got to attach another frame at the top here, which is going to hold our compost. So you just want to get a level going from that corner to that corner, and then that way as well. So now we are going to fix together these pieces of wood with cladding. So I'm going to use pallets for this. So I've stripped down some pallets already, and I'm just going to cut them, and we're going to put them across like that. To do this, I have cut myself 2 packers at 20mm each. Now all of this wood is bowed because it's reclaimed, because it's been sitting there for a while with heat and then cold and then wet and then dry. It has bowed. So this cladding isn't like what you put on a house or anything like that. It is just rustic cladding. So I'm going to start at the top, I've cut them all to 600. I'm just going to level that across there. I'm going to get to my pilot drill. It might be easier if you do this on the floor first. I'm just going to put 2 screws in there. So these are a lot shorter screws that I'm using now. So, level it up there. Put it on the end of your drill and screw it in place. Make sure it's all level. And then we're going to do the same this side. And there we go, and now I'm going to work my way down. The frame is now cladded on both sides, so it's starting to take shape. I have measured 140 down on the front, and then I've measured 160 down on the back. So this is for the living roof, and basically you want it to have a slight tilt, so then all the water is going to drain off at the back over there. So you want to get between your 2 points, just where on the inside of the wood where you've put that point, where you've put that mark, and then line it up over here. So that is 615 that I'm going to cut that piece of wood to at the front, and then we're going to do the same for the back. I'm going to measure that and then put them in place. I have cut my piece of wood to size, and then I've put 2 pilot holes through the side of this. So this piece of wood, it's a nice chunky piece. It's going to go on its side with the top of the wood lining up with that line. I'm going to make it all nice and flush at the front. And then we're going to screw through, with these extra long screws. Like that. Now I've got to do the other side. And this might need pulling into place because, as I said, the wood is bowed. So hold it into place and then screw it. On the back post I have just left, again using my packer, 20mm there, and this is going to allow for space for drainage holes, and also I've put it on slight tilt so all the water is going to run off and go down here, and it's not going to affect anything that's in here. And there's a chicken in there. You wildlife? Shit, how dare you. Now it's time to make the base for the living roof. So you want to measure your hole that you've got already over there, and then you want to cut your piece of MDF down. So this is 3/4, oh no, it's not MDF actually, it's plywood. 3/4 plywood. You can use plywood or you can use marine ply. So it's pinched a little bit up here, so I'm just going to take some of that off. And then I'm also, so I've marked it back and front, I'm also going to take off a channel up here. So this will be where I have my drainage holes, and this will allow the water to escape and the plants won't get drenched and sit in water. So I'm just gonna, the best thing for this is the jigsaw. So this doesn't have to be exact measurement, because as long as it goes onto the 2 buttons either side that you can screw it down to, then it's going to be fine. Again, this is an old bit of scrap wood, so it's not brilliant, but it will do the job perfectly. And there it is. So we've got it almost flush with the front, and then with the back it's almost flush again, and then that is your drainage hole there. So I'm going to screw this into place. So I've got 4 holes and it's going to be screwed in. So I'll just do that and I'll show you how it's finished. this stage you can get your level on there and make sure that it is not level, which is what you want, which surprisingly. So now I'm going to get a piece of wood to go across the front here and across the back there, and that's going to hold in our soil and the black membrane that we're going to be putting in there. And there we have it. That is the finished top. So we've got our drainage hole down the back there, and the sides and the front are on now, and the back. So now I'm going to use this black plastic to line it. And there it is, lined with some staples holding it in, and then I've put some drainage holes along the back. Next, I'm going to put a layer of gravel in here, which will stop these drainage holes getting blocked up with soil, and then I'm going to fill it with soil and plant it out. It's all filled with multi-purpose compost and some well-rotted manure, and now is the time to get planting. So any plants that are going to be beneficial to things like bees, all sorts of insects, then it's going to be good. Butterflies. That's a bit root bound, so I'm just going to pull it apart. If you do want any gardening inspiration, go check out my Instagram page, Haleys_Lottie_Haven, which shows everything that I grow at the allotment. And then at the front here, I am going to sow my seeds. So these are a complete mix of seeds. Like that. And now I need to water it. Now it's the exciting bit where you can get the kids involved and start filling it up. Please do get creative in this time, find what you've got lying around, and don't worry if you can't fill it all. It doesn't have to be done in one go. You can keep collecting bits throughout the year and add them to the collection. This is where your drill bits and your drill really come in handy. So you want to use loads of different sizes. Work your way up. And then you can swap your batteries over and give it sand. Bamboo canes are absolutely ideal for loads of different insects, especially bees, because there's a certain type called the leafcutter bee that will go into this hole, lay its eggs, and then block up that hole with leaves that they've cut. So I'm going to show you a real simple way to cut your bamboo canes on your miter saw. First of all, I'm going to measure my pot that the canes are going into, and that's roughly 160. And then on here you've got your measurements as well. So there's 160. So I'll just push my cane up to that point and start cutting. Couldn't be easier. Whilst the battery in my tools lasted, I can't say the same thing for my camera. So I ended up going home, freshening up, putting some more suntan lotion on, and coming back to fill all of the bug hotel. I am going to start filling up my bug hotel now, but I won't bore you with that. I'm going to put it on time lapse so you can see the progress, and all of the material options and some flowers and plants that are going to be beneficial to bees and birds and things like that are going to be up on the blog. So if you want some more information, go check out the blog. Olive is pretty jealous, aren't you, Olive? Yeah? So we have the bits from the middle of the pallets. We've got loads and loads of bamboo canes. We've got some slate piled up in there. These are actually sweet corn husks that I saved from last year and dried. We've got pine cones, we've got lumps of wood. We've got the hanging basket sort of material, we've got absolutely everything in there, the seed heads, and that is going to be the perfect little place for all sorts of insects, bugs, bees. I'm so happy with how this project has turned out, and I cannot wait to see it filled with flowers and to see what wildlife I can attract. Thank you so much for watching everyone, and do stay tuned for next month's video that I'm so excited to share with you all.